Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Thursday, January 12th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be taking a quick back look at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate as a 6-game main slate overall, and then going over to both DraftKings and FanDuel and talking about my core picks for both sites. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the point guard position on DraftKings, we had DeJounte Murray. He was $8,200, looking for 41 points out of him. He ended up with 24.5. He was a pretty big miss yesterday, 4 for 16 shooting from the field. Obviously, there was no Trae Young, so he was looking pretty good. And in this situation in the past, typically done pretty well. Just had a very, very rough game for him overall. Then in shooting guard, we went with Dwayne Washington, who was in that starting lineup once again for the Phoenix Suns, $4,600. Looking for 23 points out. No Landry Shamet, no Chris Paul ahead of him once again. Got to 19.25 points. He was a miss. This game was a blowout. He only ended up playing 24 minutes, 3 for 14 shooting from the field. So a pretty down day for him overall. Obviously, could have been a little bit worse. Wasn't the end of the world in terms of his price tag and what you're looking for, but still not a very good performance either way. Then we had his teammate at small forward, Mikal Bridges, at $6,300, looking for 32 points down. Got to 19.25. He was a miss. Only played 30 minutes in this game as it was a blowout, 3 for 10 shooting from the field. Just not quite the performance that we were looking out for out of him yesterday, especially trying to take a step up in that big way with all the other Suns pieces missing. Then at power forward, we had DeAndre Hunter at $5,000, looking for 25 points down. Got to 29.25, so he was a hit. And then last but not least, we had Nerlens Noel at center for a flat minimum of $3,000. Got 24.75, so he was a hit as well. A little bit of hit or miss day from the core picks. The Suns definitely didn't pan out in a big way. And then DeJounte Murray, who was also really popular yesterday, did not pan out. He needed some really good plays alongside this core 5 to cash yesterday, but wasn't impossible to do, just a little bit more difficult of a day overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had De'Aaron Fox at $8,600, looking for 43 points down. He got to 41.9, call it 42 points. Did give him a push for that. That game was a blowout. They won by 20 points. He played 30 minutes. If he gets extra 4 or 5 minutes, he's easily over the price tag that we were looking for. Then in shooting guard, we had DeJounte Murray, who was also $8,200 on FanDuel as well. Looking for 41 points down, got to 24.3. He was a miss, as I mentioned, on the DraftKings side. 4 for 16 shooting on the day, just not a good day for him overall. Mikal Bridges, once again, was a miss. He is $6,100, so we're looking for 31 points down. Got to 18. It was 30 minutes. It was a blowout. It was 3 for 10 shooting yesterday. Just not a good day for him overall. However, his teammate Dario Saric at $3,800, we're only looking for 19 points down, got to 23.6, so he did end up being a hit. And then at center, we had Nerlens Noel at $3,700, got to 31 points and was a hit as well. So a little bit hit or miss with the core on the FanDuel side. DeJounte Murray and Mikal Bridges were kind of the ones holding us back. But if you had some other decent plays alongside them, you still had a pretty decent chance of cashing yesterday. It was just a little bit more difficult, but the fact that DeJounte Murray and Mikal Bridges were both super popular definitely did help out in that regard as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to the injuries in play for tonight's slate. So once again, it is a 6-game main slate overall. We have one game starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time with the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are without Usheng Jang, Alexei Povaseski, and Jerome Robinson-Earl once again. So pretty much seeing what we've seen out of this Thunder team overall as of late. They do go against the 76ers tonight, who obviously have Joel Embiid. So they're probably going to start a more traditional center, I would assume, whether it's the center Jalen Williams or whether it is Mike Muscala tonight. I would expect one of them to start, but we could see that small ball lineup once again and see if they can pressure the 76ers a little bit, but should be a pretty good game for Joel Embiid regardless. On the 76ers side, they are all the way healthy at this point in time. Moving over to the Milwaukee Bucks, we have Serge Ibaka out once again. Chris Middleton is actually listed as questionable at this point in time. He's been dealing with a knee injury. Supposedly practiced on Tuesday, did not play yesterday. We'll see if he's good to go tonight. Then Grayson Allen rolled his ankle last night. He is questionable as well. There are kind of some whispers or rumors out there that maybe Drew Holiday and Giannis sit on the back-to-back tonight, so we'll just have to keep an eye out on that throughout the day. Then on the Miami Heat side, we have Dwayne Dedmon, who is out due to suspension. He suspended one game for his antics last time where he threw the Theragun or whatever it was onto the court. Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Omar Yurtseven are all out as well. Haywood Highsmith is a game-time decision, but expected to play. Same thing with Bam Adebayo, who's been dealing with the wrist injury. And then we have Udonis Haslem listed as questionable, kind of as always, but he's just more of a player coach than anything. He typically does not play unless they are super, super short-handed and they need him to. Then we move over to the Boston Celtics. Danilo Gallinari is out once again. Robert Williams and Marcus Smart both listed as questionable. Robert Williams should play tonight. Al Horford probably resting on the back-to-back. And then Marcus Smart still listed as questionable. We'll see if we get any update on him throughout the day. For the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant is out. He sprained his MCL in his knee, so he's going to be out a couple of weeks at least. And then we have Nick Claxton, who's dealing with a little bit of shoulder bug, but he is at least expected to play tonight. And then we move down to the Charlotte Hornets. Pretty much the same thing as we've been seeing. Kelly Oubre is out. Gordon Hayward's doubtful, so no real changes there. And then it looks like the Raptors are all the way healthy at this point in time. Then we get down to our late games. We have the Dallas Mavericks, who are without Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Green, and Maxi Kleber. Dwight Powell is questionable to play tonight. If he's unable to go, we might see a little bit more JaVale McGee tonight. We might see just Christian Wood start at that center spot and we get Reggie Bullock back in the starting lineup once again. And then for the Lakers, we have Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker all out. Patrick Beverley is questionable at this point in time. And then we have LeBron James and Troy Brown both listed as probable to play tonight. Then last but not least, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Portland Trailblazers. The Cavaliers are without Dean Wade and Dylan Windler. Jarrett Allen is questionable tonight. We'll see if he plays or not. Obviously, if he doesn't play, Evan Mobley, Kevin Love, both going to look better. And then Ricky Rubio is expected to make his season debut tonight, coming off of his ACL surgery. And then for the Portland Trailblazers, we have Nazir Little, Justice Winslow, both listed as out. Damian Lillard is questionable due to rolling his ankle last time out. And then Gary Payton II is probable and expected to play tonight. Obviously, if Damian Lillard is unable to go, Anthony Simons is going to look really good. Jeremy Grant's going to look pretty good. Josh Hart will look a little bit better. And Joseph Nurkic is going to look pretty good as well. So if Lillard doesn't play, the Trailblazers team's going to look pretty good overall. And you're going to get somebody else in that starting lineup. Typically, it would be Justice Winslow, but he's been out for quite some time and still going to be out tonight. So it might be a Shane Sharp. It might be a Gary Payton. It might be somebody else that we're not even expecting at this point in time. It might be Keon Johnson as well, since he started a little bit in the past as well. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. Obviously, we're watching the Damian Lillard news, the Jarrett Allen news, the Marcus Smart news, what happens with the Bucks situation. Those are kind of the main talking points today in terms of injuries, but I'll be listing all of them down in the comments as that news does come out throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my core picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Gabe Vincent. He is $4,000. We're looking for 20 points out. He played big minutes last time out, so not really too concerned with his minutes limit. Obviously, his knee's been bugging him in the past, and he was kind of on a minutes limit for a little while there too, but played a lot of minutes last time out. I believe like 40 minutes or so. So don't really have any concerns there. Currently have him projected for 22 points. Obviously, we're looking for 20 out of him tonight. Could be a favorable matchup against Milwaukee too, if they are without Drew Holiday and Giannis tonight as well. Then in shooting guard, we're going to go with Seth Curry at $3,500, looking for 17, 18 points, essentially what he's been averaging so far in the season. There is no Kevin Durant tonight. They're going to need a little bit more scoring on offense. Seth Curry can do that. I expect him to be in the starting lineup, although RotoWire did have Joe Harris expected, but Curry's the one that's been playing more minutes and been playing better as of late. So I would expect him to start once again. I currently have him projected for 21, 22 points tonight. Has a little bit of upside for more as well, so at this price tag, it looks like a very good value overall. Then in small forward, we're going to go back to Pat Connaughton. I believe I had him listed yesterday, $3,700. Looking for 18, 19 points out. Should be in that starting lineup, playing sizable minutes, especially if Grayson Allen is out tonight. There is some concern that obviously Drew Holiday, Giannis could both be out tonight, as well as Joe Ingles. If that happens, Pat Connaughton is going to look even better tonight. Currently have him projected for 20 points, but could have some upside for more as well. Then at power forward, we're going to go with Ben Simmons at $5,400, looking for 27 points out. He's averaged about 28 so far on the season. Currently have him projected for 29 tonight. Has a little bit upside for more tonight, especially with no Kevin Durant in the lineup. Could play a couple more minutes. Could be a little bit more of a factor on offense as well. And then last but not least, at that center position, we're going with Joseph Nurkic at $6,800. Looking for 34 fantasy points out. It's a tougher matchup against Cleveland, but if Jarrett Allen doesn't play, going to look a little bit better as well. And then at the same time, if there's no Damian Lillard, Joseph Nurkic typically steps up in those situations. And even what he's been doing as of late has been very, very excellent. So just a little bit of a cheap price tag for him at this point in time. Currently haven't projected for 36 points tonight, but definitely has a ton of upside for more as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you have $26,600 remaining, just under $8,900 remaining per player. So quite a lot of room and flexibility out there. If you want to play Jimmy Butler, you can definitely do it. You can pay any star player that you want to tonight and kind of mix and match from there. Or if you just want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely fine as well, because you'll get a lot of guys right around that $9,000 price range as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. So a point guard, we're starting off with Gabe Vincent once again. He's $4,100, so $100 more expensive on the FanDuel side. We saw about 19.8 points out of him the last time. Looking for 20-21 out of him tonight. Currently, I have him projected for 22 points tonight. Has a little bit upside for more if he plays better in the minutes that he is playing. At shooting guard, we're just going with Anthony Simons right away. He is $6,000. We're looking for 30 points out. He's averaging 32.5 so far in the season. If Damian Lillard does not play tonight, Anthony Simons might be the best point per dollar play on the entire slate because he's going to take that big step up as we've seen him do in the past. Already have him projected for 32 points tonight. If Damian Lillard's playing, if Damian Lillard is not playing, we're talking about Anthony Simons going for 40 plus tonight. And that's just too good of a price tag to avoid on tonight's slate overall. And then we move down to small forward. I got Jaylen Brown at $8,400. We're looking for 42 points out. That's what he's averaging on the season so far. Goes against the Brooklyn Nets, not the greatest defensive team in the world. Jaylen Brown coming off a monster game himself. Currently, I'm projected for 44 fantasy points tonight. Definitely has some upside for more as well, as we've seen in the past. Not sure why his price tag really came down on the FanDuel side, but definitely warranted playing tonight once again. Then at power forward, we're going to go with Jimmy Butler at $9,200. Looking for 46 points out. His team's depleted. We saw it the last time out, but he had a lot of steals and blocks that really helped him out as well. Get him 68.4 points. And he's got 44 points on average this year. He's almost there at his price tag. Depleted team. Currently, I'm projected for 50 points tonight. Definitely has some upside for more as well. And then at center, went with his teammate at Bam Adebayo, $8,600. Looking for 43 points out of him. Averaging just under 41 so far on the season. Could be a decent matchup tonight. Just kind of depends on who plays for Milwaukee. But currently have Bam projected for 44 points tonight. Has a little bit upside for more as well. Especially if he plays bigger minutes with the depleted Miami team that they are. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you have $23,700 remaining, just under $6,000 per player. So you're going to have to get a little bit creative, play some value players, but there's definitely a lot of them to choose from, at least early on today, and there could be more as the day moves along as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, January 12th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks on either site or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. And then as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates throughout the day as they come about, as well as many starting lineups as I can get to tonight. And then about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock, I'll have my updated core out. So definitely be on the lookout for that, especially as we get closer to lock. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, it's primarily NBA DFS. Once we get back around to baseball season, we'll be doing some MLB DFS as well. And then as we get closer to the NFL draft, we'll be popping up with some NFL draft content. So definitely be sure to check that content out if that's something you're into as well.